What's up guys, Jason here. In this video I'm going to be teaching you how to make a realistic Minecraft Bedrock elevator. This elevator works on all platforms of Minecraft Bedrock, whether you play on a phone, tablet, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, or PC. It will allow you to automatically travel up or down. It can be fun to have in bases or other builds. For this elevator, all you'll need is 4 pistons, 2 sticky pistons, 4 observers, 2 buttons, you can use any type of button that you want, 8 slime blocks, 2 obsidian, 4 glass blocks, 7 redstone, and finally some solid blocks. You guys can use almost any type of solid block that you want. A few examples of solid blocks include cobblestone, wood planks, or concrete. By the way, the amount of solid blocks you need will vary depending on how tall you make the elevator. The first step is to break 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then dig 3 blocks this way. 1, 2, 3. Now come to this corner. Then dig down 5 more blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After you guys have created that outline, dig it out. Once you guys have finished doing that, you should have a hole that is 4 blocks wide, 4 blocks long, and 6 blocks tall. The next step is to place an obsidian block over here. That obsidian block will prevent the elevator from going further down from this spot. Now place a piston at this spot, make sure this piston is facing that way. That piston will trigger an observer to make the elevator go upwards. Now place 2 glass blocks like this, and 2 glass blocks like this. Once you have placed those glass blocks, place a redstone on top of each of them. Now place a redstone on top of the piston. Then place a solid block over here. Now place a button over here. Whenever that button is pressed, a redstone signal will get sent to make the piston extend or retract. That will cause the elevator to go upwards. The next step is to come down here. Now place 4 slime blocks on top of this obsidian. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now temporarily place a block at this spot, then place an observer on top. Make sure the arrow of that observer is facing upwards. By the way, the size of the observer that the arrows are on does not matter. It only matters that the arrows are facing upwards. Then break this block. Now turn over this direction. Then place a piston over here. Make sure that piston is facing this way. Then place an observer on top of that piston. Make sure the arrow of that observer is facing upwards. Then place a sticky piston over here. That sticky piston should be facing upwards. Now place 4 slime blocks over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you come down here. Now place a sticky piston at this spot. Make sure that sticky piston is facing downwards. Now place an observer over here. Make sure the arrow of the observer is facing towards the sticky piston. Then turn over this direction. Now place a piston over here. That piston should be facing that way. Now place another observer at this spot. Make sure the arrow of that observer is facing downwards. This is the flying machine. It is what will cause you to go up and down in this elevator. Make sure all your observers, pistons, and sticky pistons are facing the correct directions. The observers will send a redstone signal to the pistons and sticky pistons. The sticky pistons will cause the elevator to move up and down. The pistons will help ensure the elevator goes in the correct direction. The next step is to place a block over here and a block at this spot. Those will be the roof and floor of your elevator. Once you have placed those blocks, place 3 blocks over here. Now place 1 over here and 3 over here. Then place 5 over here. Then place 3 over here. Finally, place 2 at the spot. After you have finished creating those walls, extend those walls up to the top height of where you want the elevator to take you. You guys can make this as tall as you want. By creating these walls, you will be able to enclose the redstone system of the elevator. Once you're finished creating those walls, your elevator should be looking something like this. The next step is to come back down here. Now place some glass blocks from here all the way to 1 block below the top. By the way, if you guys don't want to use glass blocks, another option is just use solid blocks. Once you're done doing that, place a solid block over here. The next step is to place 5 blocks over here. Now place 5 over here as well. After you have done that, extend that 5 block high wall all around this area. Once you have completed that step, fill in this roof. Then break these 2 center blocks. Now come inside here. Then place an obsidian at this spot. That obsidian should be in the center of that roof. That obsidian will make the elevator stop at that spot. The next step is to place a piston over here. Make sure that piston is facing that way. That piston will trigger an observer to make the flying machine go downwards. The next step is to place a block over here and a block at this spot. Then place 2 redstone like this. Now come out here. Then place a button at this spot. Whenever that button is pressed, that piston will extend and retract. The next step is to come in here. Then place 2 blocks over here and 2 at the spot. After you've done that, come down to the side. Make sure this is the side with the glass blocks. Then place blocks from here all the way to the top. Then come down to this side. Now place obsidian from here to the top. By the way, if you guys don't want to have to place those blocks, you can just leave this area empty. The reason those blocks need to be obsidian is to prevent them from getting stuck to the flying machine. I am now going to do a quick fly around so you guys can check and make sure to make this elevator correctly. The outside should be looking like this. Once again, you guys can make the elevator any height that you want. The inside should be looking like this. Make sure all your observers, pistons, and sticky pistons are facing the correct directions. Down here, you guys should have this redstone. Make sure there's an obsidian block over there. Finally, up here, you guys should have this redstone. Also, make sure there's an obsidian block over here. How this elevator works is you can first hit that button. Whenever that button is pressed, a piston down there will trigger an observer to make the flying machine go upwards. Whenever the top part of the flying machine hits that top obsidian, it will then stop. You guys can then exit the elevator over here. To get down, all you need to do is hit that button. That will cause a piston to activate an observer of the flying machine, then cause it to go back down. I am now going to show you how to use this elevator. To use it, first stand over here, then hit that button and quickly stand at that spot. As you guys can see here, you will then be taken upwards. Once the elevator reaches the top, it will then stop. You guys can then get out over here. To go back down, just hit that button and then quickly stand over there. As you guys can see here, you will then be taken downwards. The elevator will stop once it hits the bottom. If the flying machine does not move after hitting a button, try hitting the button again. By the way, if you guys have a hard time getting in the elevator before it starts moving after you hit that button, you guys can then break this button, then place it over here instead. That will allow you to get in the elevator before pushing the button. If you guys have trouble getting in the elevator before it starts moving after you hit that button, you guys can break this button, then break this block. Now place the button over here instead. That will allow you to push it while you stand over here. This is what the elevator looks like when it is moving from the outside. As you guys can see there, it looks really cool. I think this elevator can be a very fun thing to have in builds. I hope y'all enjoyed learning how to make this Minecraft Bedrock elevator. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions for what I should do in future videos. Please like, comment, subscribe, and check out my other Minecraft videos. I upload every other day. Thanks for watching.